Welcome back to Amusement Break. Just when you think you've seen it all, check out this clip of an influencer who was contacted by the Biden administration to promote propaganda to her targeted audience. She's sharing her story of how his administration reached out to her because of her skin tone. She also has a little bit of following that they wanted to
I
use for
started
their own
TikTok like the
propaganda.
spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then, female privilege, life is so easy for a, woman. Obviously, I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out. And then, TikTok was basically full time for me. I think I was taking ads by the time I graduated college from like the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and like dating apps and stuff. So it was like fully financially, sustaining
So you were
me.
getting the Biden administration was buying ads from you,
Yeah, I was doing full on political propaganda.
and they would oh really, with like what kind of like Biden created 10 million jobs this
Yeah,
year.
honestly, and the funny thing is, they're like, do not disclose this is an ad because they're like, technically it's not a product, so you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell people like when they nominated like Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like,
Oh,
can you
wow.
say like as a person of color, that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me, and she's
Yeah.
like giving me this script, and I'm like, no. And she's like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll like talk about the news of it, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like, it's just so, I think that black
So
pilled me
the
slightly on like, political propaganda
so
stuff.
the Biden administration sees, oh, here's this young,
Yeah, I mean, they use like a conduit. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not Biden, but it's
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 not
like
Biden,
it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company
yeah.
that's doing it on his behalf.
the
I'm not
mess-
blaming him for this.
Yeah, and the message is like, because you're a dark-skinned woman, you will be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson, and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like, basically as like another black person, just say that like you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments, but like I never,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'll never, I'm not gonna say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not like how I feel. Like I don't look at like Ketanji and feel like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
I hope everyone is starting to wake up to how the Democrats are moving around. They will exploit anyone and anything to get their agenda across. From bringing in illegals to destroy our country, to letting Chinese spy balloons run afloat, paying people to bring in votes and whatever else they have in their arsenal that they can use. I'm sure this isn't an isolated incident, and they've probably contacted hundreds of influencers to brainwash young voters into voting for them. And who do they contact? People of color, so they can push their agenda of a race war and how everyone has it bad if you have any sort of melanin in your skin. I'm not saying who you should vote for, but I know I'm riding the red wave. Republicans 2024. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more interesting content.